We now return to Let's Play Metroid Prime.
Sliding around like a sack of potatoes.
Sacks of potatoes slide? I don't know. So orange! I did not... It's like I stepped into the cheese sprayer at the Cheetos factory. I don't know.
The cheese dust sprayer. The stuff that makes everything look orange, like in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, New Vegas.
Yeah, Fallout 4, as far as I can tell, doesn't seem to have any like major filters going on like there were in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
God, this is getting redundant and boring, and you know what? This backtracking, I don't care for it anymore. So let's go nuts! Woo!
Oh yeah!
Come on, sing along! Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, keep moving on. Get less vice ahead, only one way to find out. Must keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can't see. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me, we will escape from the city. But not these Chozo ghosts. Follow me. Yeah. Fuck you, Chozo ghosts. I'm gonna bust you with missiles!
I'm going to use high explosives to deal with these.
Hey, it works for everything else.
It certainly works for ghouls.
But does it work for skeletons?
Not seen any walking skeletons. Skeletons are a lot higher quality in Fallout 4 than they are in Fallout New Vegas. To be honest, though, the skeletons in Fallout New Vegas had that sort of cartoon skeleton look to them. The new skeletons look like proper skeletons.
I would just say, you keep talking about Fallout 4. Save it for the Let's Play, but I'm not even sure if we're going to do a Let's Play of that yet. Because you still haven't, because we're still not finished with, the other one you're working on.
I just do them simultaneously.
I don't blame you, but I like to keep things. I like to keep things straight and keep them all. Also, I would like the one to get done as quickly as possible so that we can get that over with. And you know what? It's just
probably externally record it because it takes too much resources to run like Fallout 4. So,
well, we don't really have the capability for external recording.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we do, but not at a high frame rate.
No. But hell, I don't care. Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
I do kind of care. Frame rate does kind of matter to me, especially now that YouTube can support 60 frames per second.
Blasphemy. Once upon a time, we back in the PlayStation 2 days, I remember back in my day, when I played you know, Ark Survival Simulator, I can't get that thing to play in anything other than 30 frames per second, so...
I don't think that thing is designed to be any good playing at any high frame rate.
It's based on the Unreal Engine rather than anything built from the ground up, so it's really, it really... I mean, the Unreal Engine is great, but I don't know if the Unreal Engine was really for, like, massive open worlds.
Whee!
Like, because every Unreal game is like, well, Space Marine, or, the original Killing Floor and Killing Floor 2, which are just board survival. I am just kind of dubious about that. I mean, it runs, and for some people, they can actually get to run pretty well. But for me, it's just kind of like the frame rate and the stutters and all sorts of shit is just all over the place. Maybe it's because I have an i5. Maybe even though everybody said, "Oh, you don't need an i7 to play video games," I should have gone for the i7 anyway. I went for the i5, and I was like, well, I saved a bit of money. Maybe I can just get a really good cooling system for everything, like get liquid. Maybe I could just install liquid cooling on everything and overclock it and not give it shit.
I'm going to pretend I understood any of that and nod my head.
Dinosaurs.
Well, you're not going to do a Let's Play of Ark.
Ark is one of those games where if you like did video of it, it wouldn't be like so much as Let's. Well, it'd be Let's Play in the sense that Jacksepticeye does one-offs, basically, of a lot of open world games. Like, you know, another thing, Jacksepticeye is never gonna finish his Fallout playthrough.
Probably not.
He's not gonna do it. When he does games like that, he always does a few videos here and there, finishes it on his own, and then, you know, doesn't put much to YouTube, because most of what Jack's fans want.
Oh, most of what YouTube people like him do anyway is just quick. Unless it's one of those really big type of games that aren't really too open world, like the point is they tend to get more content out. I don't know. Those type of people, they like to go for as much diverse content as possible.
They're trendy ass hipsters, is what they are.
You know, I'm gonna... Well...
Also, it's pretty cheap to just play the newest indie game that's come out. I mean, come on.
I suppose.
X game is only $10. That's the main reason that I bought it.
It was only $10?
Yeah, the other game that I'm going to do a Let's Play of, when I can finally... You know, I'm terrible at editing, because I just, like, every 5 seconds I want to do something to the footage. Anyway, if I ever get that done...
I don't blame you, but you have to do... If you're going to do stuff with the footage, follow through with it. Don't just start watching... Don't just start watching random anime and then completely forget about what you're doing.
Yeah.
That was a jump cut. You may not have noticed it, but it was a jump cut. It was very clever and jump cut. Totally seamless. Totally seamless. Oh, great. This thing. It's basically another elite Phazon pirate, but this is like the only one in the game, so we have to scan it real quick here. Otherwise, we're never going to be able to see it again. I don't think. But man, is he ugly.
You know, the only thing I don't like about Power Armor in Fallout 4 is that everything uses the same frame. Which is cool and all. It means that when people make Power Armor mods to the game, basically you're just going to be able to use whatever parts you want. You can make your own custom Power Armor, just random bits of whatever. It's great. It's awesome. It's like you don't even need a mod anymore. Come on, you can just customize everything. Ugh.
But
it's all the same frame, which means everything
has to be shaped around the same.
Everything's going to have to be shaped roughly the same. So
which means we can't have Chozo Power Armor.
Yeah, actually, no, you can't.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure how Chozo Power Armor works. I think there's no clear indication because in most official Nintendo licensed, Samus is like the only person to ever have Chozo Power Armor. But there have been some instances where she's come across other bounty hunters who have power armor of a similar type.
Hmm.
And they usually have all the same shapes, except not really in the thin waists. So I'm wondering if it's the case with the power armor isn't one of those things where the shape sort of conforms to the existing body frame. So it wouldn't be infeasible to adapt to the frame of the Fallout power armor frame of frames.
You could just make a fat Samus.
Yeah. Oh, you could probably make a Buzz Lightyear though, and it would look better.
Well,
let's wait to see that Buzz Lightyear mod for Fallout 4.
Now that you put it that way, actually it would look pretty decent for Space Marine armor.
Buzz Lightyear armor for Fallout 4.
Because Buzz Lightyear is basically got the same design as a Space Marine.
You know, assuming Disney doesn't try to sue them.
Go Red Sox!
We're getting to a point where free mods on the Nexus are at risk of.
Well, you know, it's just, you know, it's one of those things, you know? It's one of those things where there's honestly a lot of copyrighted material that eventually gets put on the Nexus, but it's like Fallout 4 came out like, what, a week ago? And everybody's just like, oh, we gotta put out these videos because they're gonna trend massively when we put out that video of our Red Sox retexture, and fucking hitting everybody with a baseball bat is, what's his name?
Offensive.
What's the name of that?
Ortiz?
Huh?
Ortiz?
I don't
Something.
know.
I don't know.
I don't watch baseball.
No, I don't watch baseball either. Sports are just beyond me.
But I'll probably download.
It's like the only sport I've ever even tried to take an interest in is basketball, because all my interest in sports kind of died with public school, because it's... Can I be forgiven if... Actually, no, I'm not gonna... I couldn't take an interest in sports because no one would help me. It's just like the moment it's just like everyone expects you to be into football or basketball or baseball, and it's just like you go into this place or that position and you do this with that, and I'm just like, what? Can someone explain the rules in some clarity instead of just expect me to be in a place and doing a thing?
Well, everybody expects people, both, like, young boys. Well, during that time...
No one taught me how to play any of these sports in school. They just sort of pointed you in a direction and expected you to know. That's why I couldn't get into sports, because everyone treated me like an idiot when I didn't know what to do. Because no one would teach me how to do anything. That's why I hate the fucking public system.
Oh, yeah. Essentially,
it's like they expect you to know these things without actually trying to teach you anything.
Well, you don't learn anything on the public schooling system at all. But as I was going to say...
Because teachers are useless!
Yeah. And the reason that they basically assumed, well, everyone watches sports on TV, especially back then. So, yeah, they
The only thing I bothered to watch on TV were reruns of cartoons from the 80s. And I guess the occasional SWAT cats. And whatever. Was Tiny Toon Adventures on at the time? I don't remember what exactly we actually saw during the 90s versus what we ended up only catching up on through Cartoon Network.
Heck if I know. All I remember from the 90s was... Yeah, all I remember from the 90s is just rewatching both Ghostbusters and Transformers G2.
Which, for all intents and purposes, was G1.
Generation 2 Cybernetic Space Cube!
Oh yeah, and Gumby. Granted, that's probably what got me interested in stop motion. Granted, never did it with any clay, but clay is messy.
I thought what got you interested in stop motion was watching Wallace and Gromit. Gromit!
Well, that too. Bah. Oh boy, we're deep in the Phazon mines now that we're actually touching the fucking Phazon. And it is lethal!
Fucking grommets. You know what a grommet is?
Does anyone?
A grommet is basically a metal ring that you put into fabric to put things through. Say on a shoe, the thing that you put your shoe laces through usually, if you have like a boot, is a grommet.
Oh. Those things.
What the hell that has to do with surfing, or anything in California specifically, I do not know.
Well, here's my question. What does it have to do with Fortress Maximus? Okay, this is the place where you would normally find Hunter Metroids. They're not that much more useful than regular Metroids. In fact, they're probably easier because they don't latch directly onto you, so you don't have to power bomb them. Or, well, bomb them at all.
What are these things?
You mean the giant mushrooms or the floaty grappling hook floater thingies?
Floaty. Hey, you know what? Floaters. I think those were. I think that's the name of the creature in the Fallout franchise, which we haven't seen since the original games.
I thought floaters was the name of a creature in one of the Metroid games.
Both.
Actually, isn't a floater one of those things from Subnautica that hold up entire islands?
All three.
God. Such a generic name.
That's like, just, it floats and it's in a place. Much like the things in my eyes.
I probably have some in my eyes too if I bothered to actually look and pay attention. Yeah, this stuff is endlessly toxic to Samus. So you can't really touch the Phazon.
Phazons are purple. Does that mean they are actual gravity?
Purple? What makes you say they're purple? Well, they have purple spark thingies, but they're
mostly blue, I guess.
mostly blue.
Phazons are blue rocks.
Yeah. Blue rocks.
Nuka-Cola Quantum. Nuka-Cola Quantum is made from Phazons. Yay!
Oh, that explains everything.
Nuka-Cola Quantum. Nuka-Cola Quantum.
Nuka-Cola Quantum.
It's a tongue twister.
Of course it's a tongue twister. Much like the end of this video.